Gonk, 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 gonk.
Yay!
Gonk is alive again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Badonka Gonk, where Aaron and I talk about Star Wars until Badonka Gonk runs out of power. Usually averages about 2 hours, so if you're ready to talk about some Star Wars, it's time to start your engines.
And it's also a good day to submit questions because we are not doing a book today.
No book today.
We did have a post where we asked some people. Well, we asked you guys over on Squadron.
Yep.
If you had anything that you guys were wanting us to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a few of those ideas that we're going to be bringing out, and then we'll try to grab some questions from you guys in general.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yep. So we'll do some questions at the end. Aaron, to start with, we're actually going to be taking a suggestion. Don't normally do this type of thing here at Blind Wave, Wave Squadron, but we're doing it. We're talking about a movie that hasn't been released.
What do you mean?
In fact, we're talking about a movie that might never be released, or at least right now isn't going to be released.
Force Unleashed 3, the movie.
It's not. Oh, the movie. They make a movie with Sam?
Like, sorry, we couldn't do a game, but we'll make a movie.
Damn, that'd be kind of cool, actually.
That'd be neat. I like that. That'd be cool.
Hold on, I'm thinking about all the cool things you could do with it.
We have
Because
clones.
it starts with Vader captured.
Yeah,
right?
And clones.
And clones.
It could be an army of Star Killers.
It ends with Vader trying to clone himself or clone Padme.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But then clones of Palpatine show up.
Yeah.
And they have to fight the clones. But
Okay.
they have to kill all the Palpatine clones because they won't. Real Palpatine doesn't know that they're alive. So if they fight them, they can just tell him it failed, but he might not know because it's not like a Shadow Clone Jutsu, right?
Gotcha, yeah.
Palpatine's not just, I know all that information.
Don't be ridiculous.
But then it'd be really cool to fight like an army of Palpatines
And-
as Vader and as
And
Star
one
Killer.
gets away, goes to Exegol, and now we finally figure out how Palpatine returned.
That could be cool.
No.
But it got to be a Legends version of it, though, right?
No.
Oh,
we just mix right into canon.
All right.
No, so we're going to be talking about The Hunt for Ben Solo.
The Hunt for Ben Solo.
Yeah.
This is like a
I have
October kind of thing.
something from an article here. I'm just going to go ahead and read. This was shocking to me, and I thought, man, there's one guy I know hasn't read this, and two, will be just as disappointed as I am.
Is that me?
That's you.
Oh.
All right.
I don't know what this is. So this is a movie that may never come.
This is the movie that, as of right now, and the reason that this person is talking about it, has no plans to be made.
Okay.
And we'll learn a little bit why.
But it was like in like a little like wheel work for a bit.
Let's get into it.
All
right. This starts with a quote. "I was always interested in doing another Star Wars," says Adam Driver, who starred as Kylo Ren in the trilogy kicked off by The Force Awakens. "I had been talking about doing another one since 2021. Kathleen Kennedy had reached out. I always said with a great director and a great story, I'll be there in a second. I loved that character, and I loved playing him." Driver says he took a concept to Soderbergh. What's Soderbergh's first name? Gonk, do you know?
Oh, I thought it was a place.
What's the name of the director?
Soderbergh?
Something Soderbergh. I took an expert from an article, so they said the name. But this is the director, Soderbergh. Steven Soderbergh.
His name's Steven.
So Driver says that he took a concept to Steven Soderbergh for a film that would take place after 2019's The Rise of Skywalker. The movie culminated in Kylo Ren's redemption and apparent death. We just do get to see that. Driver had undertaken the trilogy with an arc in mind for Ren that inverted the journey of Darth Vader. As the trilogy evolved, it didn't play out that way. Driver felt there was unfinished business for Kylo Ren, or, as he's known before turning to the dark side, Ben Solo. Steven Soderbergh and Rebecca Blunt outlined a story that the group then pitched to Kennedy, Lucasfilm Vice President Carrie Beck, and Lucasfilm Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni. They were all interested, so the filmmakers then pulled in Scott Z. Burns to write a script. Driver calls the result, quote, "one of the coolest fucking scripts that I've ever been a part of."
Well, dang it. That sounds great.
We present...
Wait. What other scripts have you been a part of? Because I guess that does really, like, adjust that like.
Oh yeah, sure.
ranking,
No, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a part of like Bad Ben,
Jaws 4 or
some real
3
bad
or
movies,
whatever.
Yeah, so that really brings it.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the coolest fucking scripts I've ever been part of. We presented the script to Lucasfilm. They loved the idea. They totally understood our angle and why we were doing it, Driver says. We took it to Bob Iger and Alan Bergman from Disney, and they said, no, we don't see how Ben Solo was alive, and that was that. It was called, quote, The Hunt for Ben Solo, and it was really, really cool, adds Driver. But it is no more, so I can finally talk about it.
Well, dang.
Soderbergh, in a statement, said, I really enjoyed making the movie in my head. I'm just sorry the fans won't get to see it.
Dude, it's such an opposite of George, where George would be like, can we bring Darth Maul back? It's like, how could he be alive? He got cut in half and dropped down a reactor tube.
Fuck you.
It's like,
who gives a shit?
What is Star Wars? Who cares?
It's 8-year-olds. They'll get it. You don't get it.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I get it.
Like you just find the reason. The Force does all kinds of stuff too. You know, Clone Wars did weird stuff. You could just, I don't know, who knows what. He fell into the Force well and came out somewhere else.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, well, I mean, what do you think? Like, Disney didn't really ask the question, like, how did Palpatine return? You know, but now they're like, no. Ben Solo doesn't make any sense. He can't come back.
Well, I don't know. Disney might have asked that question, or at least I think the fans asked that question, and I think that's a lot of what Dave and some legwork of like remnants of things in Bad Batch and Mandalorian, and we're seeing, what's Project Necromancy or Necromancer, whichever
Necromancer, one. Yeah.
Like, I think some of those like were retroactively
definitely
filling in that little like, how did he come back? Yeah. But if you know that from the beginning, then you're not surprised when it happens. Yeah. So maybe that's kind of what they're going for, or they didn't know what story they wanted. Whatever way it went, but I don't know, like. Ben Solo, like he, I don't know what happened. Maybe he could have.
It's fiction and it's fairy tale. A lot of stuff could happen. I mean, George Lucas was working his way up to, in Return of the Jedi, Obi-Wan was just going to return to life.
That's why he was getting more color.
That's why he was getting more color.
It wasn't because he was going to the beach.
No, it was not. Sir.
You know,
or he didn't like just put orange makeup on his face. This was real.
Sure. Yeah.
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 So I mean, that was going to happen. That was straight from the man, the maker himself. So maybe it could be something like that. Maybe it could have been some type of like, in the netherworld of the Force, Ben Solo is allowed to keep his consciousness somehow. Maybe through the dyad with Rey, and you get like a, maybe the hunt for Ben Solo is like trying to hunt him in the Force or something. Maybe there's some type of like. There's something that needs done in the netherworld and something that needs done in the overworld.
He didn't fall like Solo or anything, right? Like I'm trying to remember his last moment.
So he does get thrown. You will be the last Skywalker, and he gets thrown into the abyss,
down in the hole.
Then he climbs his ass back out of the abyss.
That's what I was thinking.
Kisses Rey because she's about ready to die, and brings her back to life. Sacrifice, right? Giving her life because it's hard to redeem yourself after
the bad things you did.
A genocide that Vader did times 5.
Anakin did a real bad stuff, and then like his sacrifice was the death of him, right?
Sure,
but there was a redemption in there,
and it's a self-enjoyed redemption. Whereas like in the old EU, like Leia never got over that. It took her a long time for her to actually accept that Vader redeemed himself, and only then did she name one of her sons Anakin. You know?
I do like when you were talking about it from Adam's perspective there, where he was signed on for a reverse Vader story. Like I picture like reverse prequel, like reverse Anakin. Mm-hmm. Like we meet him not as a good person, but as a bad person, right? Whereas in the prequels, you meet Anakin and he's a good guy, and you see his fall to the dark side. It'd be interesting if you had that where it's like, oh, you see Kylo Ren and you see his fall to the light side.
Which I mean is what happened. It's just not necessarily like it's not just like Anakin's fall to the dark side. It's not done super well.
Well, no, I think a lot of it that they do ends up being very Anakin Vader-ish. Like we flash back and we're not seeing that he was evil. Mm-hmm. We're seeing that like there was misunderstanding and that he was a good guy and whatever, and then falls to the dark side because where else does he go? Yeah. And then the same kind of redemption thing happens with Vader. But I like the idea where it's like, no, when he was born like from an earlier age, there was a darkness in him then. Yeah. And then as he grows up, something changes and he finds the light, whether it's through Rey and a Palpatine descendant or something like that, where it's like that's the reverse of that,
or the connection to his father through his mother, right? On that moon.
Sure. I don't know what of the movies to pull in, because of kind of changing up what the story would be.
There's like what is now, and then what could be.
What could be if you kind of had that, because like I'm just trying to think of like when he says that. Well, what's the actual reverse of Vader? I don't feel like we got that. I feel like we kind of got a Vader story anyway.
Like one of my things I like about it is like Anakin embraces the dark side to save Padme, becomes so strong he can take out like everybody at the Jedi Temple, whereas Kylo Ren, he thinks, okay, the thing I have to do is I have to kill my dad. If I kill my dad, just like Darth Vader, I will be fueled by the dark side. And for some reason, he gets weaker. Like he, in the next movie, Snoke is like, the deed split your spirit to the bone. It didn't give you strength. It like took your strength. Like, which is like, it is kind of that inverse of a fall to the dark side, the pull to the light.
Yeah.
In
the loved one's death.
Because when he killed Han, he didn't like Han obviously didn't want to die, but Han said like, I will literally do anything for you. Like, I love you. You're my son. There's nothing I won't do. He kills him, and it's in that moment that it's like Han's love haunts him in a way, right?
Sure.
Really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Not necessarily super followed up on in The Last Jedi. I think it is if Rise of Skywalker like really nails the landing. I don't think it nails the landing. I think it kind of like skids, and I have some fun moments with that movie. But it's the one movie that I probably rewatched the least.
Sure. I don't think I've seen it since theaters, honestly. Yeah. I watched Force Awakens more, but it's also been out for, almost 10 years now?
Almost 10 years, dude. In December, it'll be 10 years.
That's ridiculous.
2015. Which maybe during Donkey Kong December, we'll have to do some Force Awakens stuff.
That could be interesting.
10
Talk
years.
about Force Awakens. I need to watch it. I forced the kids to watch it. Because we went through when we were doing all the Star Wars stuff, we didn't do the last trilogy. We did like almost everything else. I don't think we did Ahsoka, and I don't think we finished Bad Batch because that was still airing at the time.
Gotcha. Okay.
But no, I mean I don't know. To be like, no one can come back. Like even if he came back as a Force spirit, like his Force was good and in the greater, I don't know. In the greater scheme of things, like you can't bring him back, but he is here and he's with us. Like maybe you could play with that somehow. Even I don't know. Just depends on what you want to do. But to be like, he's dead. I don't know how he can come back. It's like, well, Obi-Wan died. Darth Maul died. Palpatine died. You guys had no problem bringing Palpatine back. Like what do you mean?
It's
that seems like a weak argument.
It does seem like a weak argument.
Side.
It's also real weak that like I understand Bob Iger feels a lot of responsibility for the, quote unquote, like downfall of the sequel trilogy and stuff. But when like Dave Filoni comes to you and says, hey, I think this would be a good story. I don't think you get to tell Dave being like, oh, you idiot, you don't realize that guy died. It's like, he knows. Sure. You don't think that like there might be some, like I like The Last Jedi because it takes crazy swings, and a lot of those swings work for me. And it really feels like Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger like trusted this artist to come in and like, here's my story, And I feel like The Rise of Skywalker was almost the opposite direction, where it's like, hey, we're getting like a lot of backlash, so we need to change and we need to try to like make people happy. So let's bring in this guy,
Sure.
And it feels like you're robbing agency from artists as opposed to empowering them, which is what a company like Disney should only be doing, empowering their artists to speak what they want to say, not what the corporate billionaire wants to say. But that's what happens whenever it's all about the money.
Sure. Well, I think like the response from the fandom is why so much pulled from sequel trilogy. Yeah. Like, even Mandalorian, where it took place. Well, this takes place after the original trilogy. Yeah. But as we went through, like we still went to like, even going to like Book of Boba and stuff. Like we had Tatooine a lot on things. We end up getting a Naboo starfighter. Like there's a lot of nods towards things from the prequel trilogy or from Clone Wars.
Which is like, hilarious because when The Force Awakens starts, they're like, they think George Lucas almost ruined Star Wars because of the prequels. No one likes them. Everybody, they were universally panned and hated, despite, those 10-year-olds that watched it growing up, getting ready to watch your movies. and they be like, no, we're going back to the original trilogy. Look, we're not even going to talk about the prequels. And then that stumbles, and then we have to go back to the prequels.
Yeah, they go back, and I think they really embraced more of the prequel stuff and the Clone Wars, and like the things that were going on in that time span of us growing up.
Yeah.
Just because of sequel. And then I feel like since then, they've been afraid to kind of like touch on sequel stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that his thing being, I don't understand why he would be alive, is more of a sequels didn't do very well, so we're not going to revisit that. We're going to stick with more more of whatever else. But I'm hoping that with like what they're working on with like the Mandalorian movie and Ahsoka and however they bridge a gap where maybe people are like, oh, now I see what's going on with Palpatine and it makes more sense, that maybe it kind of like softens the hate of the movies.
Yeah.
And maybe we can get into like some other story bits, like the Rey New Order stuff. I think that could be cool.
I don't know. It feels like there's just a lot of fear.
Yeah, sure. I just think like fill out some of the story stuff and let your artists like make sure you have a plan of what you want, and don't just maybe don't just go fully one movie at a time, or make sure you're building upon the past movie or whatever you want to do. I know MCU has had some stumbles and stuff too, but I think especially like in its earlier days, like the way they went through like planning out the movies, even keeping them separate but still having a connective tissue between them all, I think worked really well.
Me too.
I think it's possible to do. You just have to like have someone who's watching over like what the connections are and how things work. That's like your lore person, and then let artists be able to experience and like create stories and create new stuff for Star Wars in general. Yeah. I still really love the idea of just having like some stories aren't tied to the Skywalkers and we can do some other stuff, but maybe it adds a little bit of story to, Mandalorian's not really tied to the Skywalkers, but there's some story there where you're like, oh, maybe this is related to what Palpatine's doing, and now I understand that better. And I think that that's a cool way to give you other elements of the galaxy, but also have it like give more nods to something that we don't know yet from the main stories.
Yeah, I agree. We're also going to be having, as time goes on and the sequel trilogy, the fervor calms down, and then the B team I don't want to say the B team, but the expand universe stuff starts coming in and building that up. The prequels, we think of them so fondly. When you watch Clones in the prequel trilogy, how do you feel about them? Are you like,
no,
my baby boys?
I like them a lot.
You love them.
Yeah, but that's because of what we got otherwise. And I really want them to embrace that in the sequel trilogy. Yeah. But it's for, I don't know, not 10 years, I guess, but for, what's it been? 6 years? Yeah. I don't know. It's felt like, ooh, this didn't hit how we wanted it, so let's avoid it completely, versus like, let's add some more context and stuff. Now, because the Clone Wars did that for all the prequel trilogy. Agreed. And even more than just clones, you got some other stuff. We learned about Sifo Dyas a lot more in the Clone Wars, and like just other story elements. Boba, we learned a lot about Boba in the Clone Wars too and stuff. So,
and it's not to say that they aren't putting some of that stuff out there. We just haven't gotten to some of the books and comic books that are coming out in that era.
Well, sure, but I'm not talking about those.
You're talking about,
I'm talking about in the main media of what I think most people watch Star Wars. I think then there's the next group that pushes down to where like they'll read the books, and then I think there's like we also do the comics, and like all that can feed into it.
It can.
But for the most part, the stuff they're doing in the movies and the TV shows, hopefully they kind of pull from the books, especially now that Disney's kind of like trying to keep it all connected, as opposed to before where it was like it's not connected at all. So I'd like to see them embrace it in their shows and embrace it in their movies and do that kind of stuff, rather than avoiding it and being like, well, you know what? We'll put it out in comics and stuff for like the fans who are like the real big fans like this, but because there's so much hatred on this, like, I mean, they're not getting the comics, they're not buying the books probably. Yeah. They're just complaining about the movies and the TV shows. So I think that scared them away.
Yeah, agreed.
I think, but I don't know. Having not been like a big comic book reader and stuff too. Like I'm sure there's lots of stories I'm not seeing and knowing, but I'm sure there's lots of that stuff too that once I get to it or don't, I'd love to see some of that stuff in media too. There's some characters I've heard of in like comics and stuff. I'm like, they sound really cool. I'd love to see them in a show or, a cameo in a movie or something like that. There's the what's her name? Afra or whatever.
Dr. Afra.
Yeah, I like that character. Sounds cool, even though I've never read any comics with her in it or anything. Where I'm like,
I have a limited edition action figure of her. I want to be like, oh man, I hope I end up liking this.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, just I'd like to see more of the animation also do that. I think Rebels was really cool in some of the stories that it like added to like in between episodes 3 and 4. Rebels did a lot of cool stuff in there too.
Agreed.
Give me an animated one. Resistance didn't do it for me.
It was just
the characters are cool, but it was so separated from a lot of stuff.
And it's skewed for an audience that's much younger than I am.
Yeah,
I
suppose that's true too. But I mean, I didn't watch all of like the Star Wars. What was it called? It was like the little
Young Jedi Adventures.
Yeah, Jedi Adventures, Young Jedi Adventures. Yeah. I didn't watch. I saw some of those, but I didn't watch all of those either.
Sure. Yeah.
But there's some characters in that show up from like.
The High Republic?
I think from the High Republic, because there's a High Republic era thing.
Yeah, we watched
like,
one clip during one of our comic book readings to get a character's voice consistent.
But you put them in there, and you're like, oh, well, kids watching this probably didn't read the comics or the books, but you toss them in there, and it's just like fun connective tissue to make it all feel like it's all one big thing. And then when you read the book, or then when you watch the show, you're like, oh, wait, I recognize this name, and it gets you a little bit more excited for that too. So, I don't know, just embrace that like the web of Star Wars, and just kind of let it be. I love having prequel stuff, but I also was like, man, I want more sequel stuff to like help me love it even more.
Agreed.
It's like I like a lot of the characters, but I also wanted more out of Finn. There was some more stuff like Poe, like there was so much between a lot of new characters and trying to do the old characters justice kind of stuff that there's just a lot going on. So I'm like,
what do you think the state of the galaxy is after episode 9?
That?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't necessarily think about it in Return of the Jedi.
Sure.
Hey, we destroyed the Empire. Emperor's dead, and we blew up the Death Star, and everything's perfect now. It's like, well, what do they do?
Yeah, right.
What's the next steps?
Yeah.
So, like, I assume we're in a similar.
Like the New Republic, comes back. They're like, all right, we're gonna do everything, but right this time.
Yeah.
And also, we're really afraid of fascism, so we're not gonna go too hard on the First Order when it pops up.
Yeah. Exactly. And then all of them are gone.
Yeah.
And then it turns into, like, the New Order taking over. So, like, we don't even have a government again, right?
Yeah, I mean, Palpatine puts out his final order message, throughout the stars, saying, like, you need to submit or the galaxy will burn. The New Republic is completely destroyed because the Hazian Prime system is gone. Mm-hmm. There's no fleet or anything. So at the end, you're kind of all the Star Destroyers get destroyed that have the big giant, the miniature
ones.
Death Star guns or whatever they are, So it's really like a galaxy of no government.
Yeah.
You probably have like these islands of planets, and maybe you could form like a Skywalker squadron that like goes out and to keep peace or something. But I imagine it'd be a lot more like Old West as opposed to like Imperial stories.
You probably end up with a lot of like system governments, right?
Yeah.
Like, even with the Emperor, you had like governors running things. So, like once the Emperor was gone, you started getting the New Republic putting things in. Like you probably have like a planetary government or however they operate. I don't know how much sway the New Order really First Order? New Order. First Order.
The First Order and then the Final Order.
Final Order? Okay.
That lasts about
that was the last
30 hours.
The last little bit. But like I don't know what all control they had of the galaxy, really, you know?
I mean, this is just a control of fear, but not necessarily in terms of like, they're not like...
They weren't as strong as the Empire.
Yeah, they weren't giving out like regional like budgets for planets or anything.
No,
they were just amassing power.
Yeah, and you'd have like a military might over planets and stuff too. Yeah. Like a lot of that was probably gone. So yeah, you probably have it where it's like, well, planets will have to kind of communicate with each other. It would be cool to like go into that, and like that's where the New Order is, and like they're almost like the new Jedi are almost like cowboys in a wild west of like there's not really a lot of connection between them because there's no overarching government. The systems don't know what to do. I mean, at the end of Return of the Jedi, I would imagine like they didn't have a Senate anymore. They didn't really have like people doing Congress or anything. So it might be like, well, some people might come together, and the rebellion kind of has connections to these planets. So you have like Mon Mothma, like old senators that are like trying to get something together there. But once you lose all them, you're probably left with like the Resistance in a similar sense being maybe leaders of some planets, but maybe not even that, Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's really tricky. I'd like to see what they do with that. It'd be cool to have a Wild West, and here's like Jedis just traveling and wandering. and a little bit more of like what I imagine them to be back. Probably even before the High Republic, before they were part of a government. Like, what were the Jedi? And
I
what
think
did they
it's
do?
in the Phantom Menace documentaries at some point where Lucas describes the Jedi as like they're like Ronin samurai mixed with U.S. Marshals.
Yeah.
So he actually does evoke like U.S. Marshals in the Wild West.
Like that would be kind of cool. Think about the first Visions episode, where like he just kind of like wanders into a town.
Yeah.
But then like stuff happens, and he's like, all right, gonna have to do some stuff,
Your blade is red. Dude, Vision comes back so soon.
It does.
Oh my God, I just remembered that.
But no, I think that it would be really cool to have something maybe like a cowboy-esque Wild West Star Wars thing that you could do. I mean, you get that a lot with like Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It has that like Wild West feel to it.
Yeah.
But like maybe make it more like Ronin then. Make it more like a samurai traveling around. Like,
agreed.
That could be really cool. And
there's no real like centralized order structure for the Jedi. They're more like wandering way fighters that like just help.
Yeah, like maybe Rey's thing is like, here's like the monastery where we train and do stuff, but then people go out and like you can come back here, but like we don't support you out there. We have no way of really giving you anything more.
And you bring this one thing up that ever since you said it, it like made the prequels worse for me, which is why aren't there Jedi on the Separatist side? Like if it truly is like a, it's not good versus evil because Palpatine is just playing both sides against each other. It would be so much better if there were Jedi that were like, no, the Republic is corrupt. There's more than Dooku, And I think that maybe in this type of thing where you have a more Wild West, you have Jedi that might oppose each other on certain sides, and there you can get some cool conflict. Or maybe they just, maybe they have a way of dealing with that. I don't know.
Will they converse? And try to keep peace? Will they combat each other?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think there's be some neat things there. Yeah. I'm sure samurai were on opposite sides lots of times and had to fight each other. Like kind of make it that last Ronin kind of story where they're just wandering nomads sometimes going through. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we do have some stuff to look forward to. I mean, we have the Mandalorian Grogu movie, which is just going to definitely evoke the years of the Mandalorian at this point that we've come to enjoy. But we also have Starfighter coming out.
Starfighter.
Yeah. Have you heard anything about Starfighter in terms of like actors or anything?
Starfighter. Is that the one that I think we did something with it, right? Is that the one with Gosling?
Yeah, Ryan Gosling will be starring in that movie. I don't know anything past that. I don't want to know anything past that. There was like a couple times where like new news about Starfighter, and I'm like, oh fuck, turned it off.
Yeah.
Just because I like to be surprised, and when a trailer comes out, I want to learn everything about it right then. Not the years and months before. But we have that to look forward to as well, and I think with that maybe a return to theatrical movies for Star Wars. I have really missed them.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the anniversary theater experience, like putting what was episode 1 back for the 25th anniversary.
Yeah. Well, the last time I saw episode 1's theaters was the 3D release.
So was it episode 3's 25th anniversary then?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm thinking of? That
20th anniversary.
Okay. 20th, jeez.
Yeah, because that was 2005.
Okay, maybe the 25th anniversary is coming for episode 1, and I was hoping they'd put it back in. I can't remember what it was, because if the last time I saw that was then, I was like, I took the kids to see episode 3.
Gotcha.
But I still want to see episode 2. Dang it, I've never seen 2 in theaters.
It's a good one, man. It has my favorite theater moment, one of my favorite theater moments of all time.
I mean, it's
the first time I watched it, and Yoda comes around that corner. I'm like, oh! He pulls out his saber. The whole theater just erupts before anything even starts.
There's some cool moments on it.
So great. What an amazing moment in theater. To see 1,000 Jedi on screen, for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool.
That was good stuff, man.
It's one of those things where it's like I need it on my checklist.
Yeah, you gotta have it.
I didn't get that one,
Well, hopefully soon.
It's like Turtles 2 is supposed to come into theaters next year for its anniversary, and I really want to go see Secret of the Ooze.
I love Secret of the Ooze.
I didn't go see the first one, but I'm going to Secret of the Ooze is my favorite. I want to go see that one. So,
I love what's that one they go back in time? And the guy with the birds.
Oh, Turtles 3.
Turtles 3.
Yeah,
3. I even love that one.
I do too. I think the turtles don't look as good, but I still had fun with it.
I don't know why they have spots.
I don't know. Spots didn't bother me. It was just their faces and stuff in general were they just look, now being older, they look cheaper.
Yeah, they look. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't even notice.
No.
All right. Okay, so that was us talking about some stuff that never was. Some You know, I mean, I guess it kind of like goes into that list of things. You evoked Force Unleashed 3, Star Wars 1313.
Yeah.
What's that Quantum Dream game? Is that ever going to come out? Remember that?
Shoot, Eclipse.
Star Wars Eclipse. Is that ever going to be a thing? The KOTOR remake. Is that ever going to happen?
I saw something recently that mentioned it.
Yeah?
But in the moment, I can't remember what it said.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It was like this last week. I was like something. I was like the Star Wars game that might not end, or maybe I don't remember whatever the headline was. I'm like, oh, what's this? And it was like Eclipse, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just.
Nexus says Eclipse. It got confirmed just a few days ago to still be in development.
So that must have been what I seen. There was something about Eclipse.
Okay, well, we'll see.
So we might get it.
Yeah.
I would love, especially after playing KOTOR, I'd love a KOTOR remake. With just updated graphics, and maybe not even that. Maybe also like give it the Final Fantasy VII treatment. I probably said this before in here, but like just bring it into the canon and make it fit into the canon. Make it fit how you want. Change up some stuff in it.
We had a whole segment. You can go watch a whole video on Wave Squadron on YouTube of us just this is how we would do KOTOR.
Dude, imagine like you do some stuff and maybe like who'd they have? I don't know. What was it? Canderous was like a Mandalorian or whatever in it. Like, what if you had some Black Saber stuff somehow? And like they didn't have that being a thing back then, you know? Like, what if you had Black Saber stuff being mentioned or being a part of his storyline?
If you're bringing it into canon, are you keeping it? How many thousands of years is it before? Because you have Tar Vizsla.
That's sure. I don't know when.
Yeah.
I don't know when you put it and when that happened and stuff too. But like.
But maybe you could do something like
the
that.
People who are working on it and how you want to do it, like maybe that's why they were like, hey, you know what? Let's make this canon, not just a remake.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII like had some decent sales, I think, for it, and it made a trilogy out of a game.
Yeah. If you're making it, please contact me and Aaron. We'll figure out all the problems. It's super easy.
I mean, I would spend time.
Every fan's like, we'll figure it out. Come on.
I'll spend time figuring it out. Yeah, I'll make it work. Make it work. Make it fun.
Make it work. Make it fun.
So whatever needs to work out for it. All right. Well, that was fun, but that was all because of a movie that's not coming to be.
Yep. I mean, I was also excited to hear, Adam Driver being like, I loved that character. I want to keep going.
When you first said it, I was thinking of it being before, taking place of like he has been taken or he's missing or he's gone, and it's more of like that time span of him missing and they don't know where he went, and then they find out he's become Kylo Ren. But I like the idea of it being also after, where it's like,
yeah, me too.
Maybe we can get him back. Maybe Adam Driver can do more.
Maybe they'll release more information in the future about what it would have been. It's the hunt for Ben Solo. So I'm thinking, like, he's dead. We got to go find where dead people go. But I suppose it could also be like he comes back to life. He's responsible, or at least the only person left alive responsible for the destruction of the New Republic and the Hosnian system. So the authorities at B are hunting him.
Oh, sure,
and he's good Ben Solo, but they're hunting Kylo Ren.
You make it like a fugitive storyline.
I guess you could do that,
Yeah, you could do that.
But he wouldn't have like I didn't kill my wife. It would be like,
I did it.
I killed trillions. Luke Skywalker saw it before he tried to kill me. Yeah, I don't know.
Who was it that said about it was the best script was it Adam Driver that said that?
Yeah. He said
what's his I'd have to look at his list of movies and scripts that he's been a part of, because like there's some movies where I'm like, I don't know, I didn't really like that one.
Driver calls the result, quote, one of the coolest fucking scripts that I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. I want to make sure of who that was that said it.
Alrighty. Well, that is it for that. We're gonna be moving on to our next topic, which Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we did kind of talk about it a little bit, but it is Star Wars Visions is coming out, and we do have kind of a plan for how we're going to be releasing it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have next Thursday, episode 1 will be on YouTube, and the rest will be on early access as soon as possible. So then we'll be releasing one daily starting Thursday on YouTube. So we're really going to be trying to get those out for you guys, and we are all very, very excited for them.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Visions has been a lot of fun. I really enjoy seeing like just some different takes and stories and stuff. That's definitely one of those where it's like, here, artists, you're in the Star Wars universe, do what you want.
Yeah, definitely.
And I like getting to see that. Now, I think it works well too, because you're like, it's not canon. You can kind of do what you want with it. But I think there's some cool creative things that they do in those stories. Sometimes they work for me, sometimes they don't. But that's part of the fun of it, I think.
It is. I agree. Okay. Well, we talked a little bit about the Star Wars movies, including all eras, and I thought now would be a good time for us to look back and remember the career of one Drew Struzden, who is a very, very famous poster artist that not only is responsible for when I think of the posters for Star Wars, he's responsible for so many posters in my life.
Yeah.
So I thought it might be a good time, Aaron, to go through each of the Star Wars Drew Struzden posters and maybe have what do you think about them? Do you think that they're really capturing the essence of the movie?
Okay.
That type of thing.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. We're going to start with where it all started, A New Hope. This is the Star Wars poster, Aaron. Not A New Hope. The Star Wars poster.
Before they added that tagline,
yeah.
huh? No, I mean, I like this one. You get the main three there. I love the, this is the Death Star battle here, right? You have the X-Wings and the Y-Wings there in space, too. But at the same time, it looks kind of exciting and everything, but I love things not being given away.
Agreed.
I don't know, just looking at this, it looks cool, but I don't know what Death Star is. I don't know what Darth Vader is, I don't
Yeah,
see
you may not
aspects.
really notice the two twin suns up in the top left for Tatooine,
Sure,
but
yeah.
when you know the movie, then you're getting it. But he just has this high fantasy style that I think is so hard to replicate. You can just look at the way that he brings out characters, even though they look photoreal. I can still tell they're Drew Struzden characters, and I feel like that's something that AI is gonna have a hard time trying to recreate. I think it can do any style.
I hope so.
But I don't know if it can make its own style. Drew made his own style. You know what I'm saying?
It shouldn't be able to create its own, but
Yeah.
I hope it can.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love this. This also is for the special edition, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, these, I think primarily the special edition was my Star Wars. I really got into it right when those were coming out. So these were the posters I had. These were what I would get off of the shelf, and that Star Wars was the Drew Struzden. And that's definitely the case for the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy for me. So, now there's also an alternate Drew Struzden poster for Star Wars.
Oh, for the
I
first
don't know
movie?
if you've ever seen it before, but we'll go ahead and bring it up here. But yeah, this is the alternate Drew Struzden. My favorite thing about this is the big giant Dracula collar on Darth Vader, which a lot of original concept art had.
Yeah,
I believe actually the action figure had that as well.
Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, they still have that. I'm not in love with this one, I'll be honest.
Well, yeah, this is proto.
Yeah, the other one I think really fits more in the fantasy aspect of this one. This one, though, I do think hits that that old TV serial kind of feel. You know what I mean?
Pulp novels. This one feels more Indiana Jones than Star Wars to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. I think about the novels or I don't know. Something with a magazine. It feels like something you'd see on a magazine for something. And I don't know. It just, for some reason, when thinking about the idea of Flash Gordon and those kind of older TV serials, this one I think pulls that more, whereas the other one hits more of my sci-fi fantasy kind of feel.
Agreed.
A little bit more. But I don't know. Makes it more higher fantasy, I suppose, in the other one.
Okay. Well, let's move on to Empire, which is one of my favorites in terms of the poster.
I know this one.
I
love
love this.
Especially in the idea of the Empire. The opposite of what we had last time, where it was focused on the heroes and the hero ships. This one is focused on the Empire and how scared. Look at the Star Destroyer coming at you. Even the AT-ATs on the side. There's only one good guy in the whole thing over there, and he's running away because look at all that. You don't want to go against that.
Drew tends to have his characters kind of off to the side and looking to the distance, whereas when the Empire strikes back, they look right down at you and they're going to run you over.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this poster so much.
Palpatine's looking at me with those monkey eyes.
Yeah, man, he really is. Now, that's Palpatine from Return of the Jedi in terms of the look, right?
Sure. Well, I mean, if this is on special edition,
he's going
to have other things to pull from.
And this might be a conspiracy theory, but I also feel like the Vader might be more Return of the Jedi Vader. And the only reason I say that is I felt like Irvin Kershner, the director of Episode 5, the lighting department treated Vader's helmet a lot differently in Empire than it did Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi has a lot more of these spectral highlights that kind of are showing more of reflecting what's around Vader, whereas Empire tended to really try to get the silhouette of Vader in the lighting, you know? So I also feel like there's a lot more Return of the Jedi feel in here, but it's still just a fantastic poster. And also I'm of that mind where like there is no separate movies. There is just Star Wars, the mythology.
Sure.
So it doesn't really bother me as much.
Now, there in the center, that's Vader's ship, right?
Yeah. So that would be the Advanced TIE Fighter.
Yeah, that's interesting to have them there.
Yeah, when's that show up in Empire?
Yeah, you get that moment happening in A New Hope where it's like that's the formation too. Him there with the 2 TIE Fighter pilots on the side.
Exactly.
So interesting to have Vader's ship leading the charge in the Empire Strikes Back. But I mean that's all that's Empire.
It is.
It's all the Empire.
All right, well we're gonna move on from here, not to Return of the Jedi, but to Revenge of the Jedi. This is a Drew Struzan
So he
poster.
did this one, huh?
Yeah. Just a fantastic piece of trivia as we look back on this time frame. And my favorite 2 pieces of trivia about this poster: 1, Revenge of the Jedi was the first title, and 2, the lightsabers aren't matching.
Yeah,
Vader's using a blue saber and Luke is using a red.
I wonder if that was at all part of the story at some point. Then
I don't know,
or if it was just something that it was I don't know how intentional it was, how messed up it was, if it was part of the idea or what.
Sure.
But yeah, that's one of the things that I noticed is just looking at it right there. I'm like, that's a red saber.
Yeah,
but
and I'm happy both in the new name and the new poster because this one, while I like it, it doesn't for me match exactly what I'm looking for with those special edition posters. So let's go ahead and move on to Return of the Jedi. What a poster.
I remember this one.
Yeah. I mean, and yes, it does really feel like Luke and Vader are from Empire Strikes Back. Luke has that blaster on his hip where he doesn't have that in Return of the Jedi.
No.
But, I mean, come on, man. Like, Yoda, Jabba, they're all on the right. It's very, like, right-heavy in that regard, Yeah. I just love so many choices that he makes. I love that he has, like, shooting stars and stuff just to bring this, like, fantasy feel to the whole image. Got a little Boba down there, Got Wicket.
And this one's interesting because it's also, like, there's a lot. This one isn't solely focused on one thing or another. Because, you have Boba, you have, like, the fight there in the middle, but then you have, like, TIE Fighter, Ewok, X-Wing, Jabba.
Yep.
A B-Wing back there.
They do have the B-Wing, yeah.
Which, I mean, usually that's not one of the, I feel like, more recognizable ships for people, Usually X-Wings, Falcon, TIE Fighter, like, I feel like those are the main ones you usually use, but, I mean, I like the B-Wing.
I love the B-Wing. And I know that it has that element sometimes when it's in its horizontal thing where it's, like, off to the side, and you would rather have your starfighters middle-oriented, right?
I usually do, yeah. I mean, depending on how it is, one thing, what was it? Was it in Squadrons? I think it was in Squadrons. Like, you could fly a B-Wing, but, like, the whole ship, like, you could rotate the ship around you, which was weird, but it was also kind of neat.
Yeah.
So I like that. So if you wanted to fly it where, like, you were on the bottom of the ship.
Yeah.
Or on the side or the top, you could do that. So I always thought that was a really neat thing for the ship, too. But no, the art on this one I like a lot, too. It feels like it's less focused, though, than, like, the last 2 of, like, the Empire one and the A New Hope one. I don't know.
I would agree. It is, no Leia, no Han.
Yeah.
To be fair, the Empire one didn't have the big 3 either.
No, but it
was all Empire.
But it was all Empire on the Empire one. Like, this one isn't even necessarily, like, you get Yoda and, I guess, Luke there. So I'm like, how Jedi focused is it? But it feels less focused because you have, like, there's Ewoks and Boba and spaceships and a lot of stuff going on there. Jabba's back here.
I'm glad Chewie gets, like, real big prominence in this one, too. I mean, why not?
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't on any other ones. So it's like, look, a big old Chewie head there. No Han. Han who?
Han's flying.
Han's gone, If you don't know what's happening, you're like, oh, man, there's no Han Solo on here. Is Han Solo gone? Like, maybe you could think that,
Yeah, sure, you're right. I didn't really think about that in that regard. Like, well, yeah, you don't want a Han in there because you don't want to spoil that he actually comes back.
Yeah. Potentially.
All right, well, let's skip a couple decades, and we're going to be jumping into
Dude,
one of the best.
That's like my favorite poster. He did my favorite one. I also am biased to episode 1, I think.
Yeah, we all are.
It was like my first theater Star Wars movie, And Darth Maul's just so cool.
Darth Maul's his eyes are so cool.
I love that it's his eyes.
Yeah.
Like you don't really see anything else. It's just his eyes looking at you, you know? And he has so little screen time, but that's so threatening there, you know?
He does, yeah. The lens flares in the poster once again evoking Tatooine.
Yeah.
I feel like with so much of the taking place there. You got Puppet, naked 3PO. You got the Nubian Starfighter. You get a little bit Jar Jar in there. You know, he doesn't make it onto a lot of promotional material these days. But I love it there. And of course,
I like that a lot.
And of course, Queen Amidala's look is just so interesting. One of my favorite things that... Yeah, what happened? Gonk, are you okay? Oh, we got a sub. He's saying that we got a sub.
Thank you.
Thank you, whoever subbed. We can't see it right now.
We'll look at it in a minute.
But yeah, one of my favorite things that we ever learned about Donkey Gonk was the fact that, like, the way this team would go about, all right, if we're going to take cultural things from Earth cultures, they have to show up a couple different times in unrelated cultures. So the face painting and the pageantry of the Naboo queen look comes from, like, Japanese culture, Mongolian culture, these various different types of face painting cultures that I think really make for, like, a unique look, but feel very human in expression.
Mm-hmm.
So really cool stuff.
Yeah. No, and you get Qui-Gon there too, which is like he's like the main character of that movie, but Anakin is a very important part of it, you know?
Just the way that light is being done in this poster. I love it.
Yep. I enjoy it too. Very good. Thank you, Drew.
Thank you, Drew. All right, moving on to the movie that you haven't yet seen in theaters, Aaron. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. I love this poster. I love the framing of the lightsaber on the right side of Obi-Wan's lightsaber. It will be evoked a little bit more in a later poster that we're going to look at. But I've always loved the framing of that and the way things kind of parallax out from the from the side.
Yeah. No, I like that. You again have like you have that on the side, but then you also have the two shines there too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have three though? Is there one above to the left of Padme? I can't tell if that's one there or not, but it does have like two main like circle starlight areas that are kind of like that Tatooine 2 sun thing that they keep kind of doing. We also have R2 and 3PO down there in the corner, like real little, but they're there.
They're there. They show up every once in a while.
And a Mace Windu. Is that who that is?
It is totally a Mace Windu. Mace, I think, makes it on 2 of these posters.
There is a lot of Jedi in this one. There's Yoda on the left in her hair.
There certainly is.
So, but no, I like this one. I mean, it definitely is pushing like this one pushes more of like the love idea that they're romance. Doing in the between Padme and Anakin.
Yeah. I mean, Lucas he stepped in it so hard. He wanted to make an old Hollywood romance movie, and that tone choice didn't really work for a lot of people, but man, does this movie like try its hardest. Like when I see this poster, I hear Across the Stars, which is such a it's like the most romantic John Williams has ever been, other than maybe like Leia's theme or Han and Leia's theme.
Yeah, I love Leia's theme.
But he goes into the romance so hard and makes it like an adventure. It's so good.
I would probably argue that there's Indiana Jones as well. That's also very romantic. It also has a lot of Leia theme elements in it too.
100% agree. I was meaning more on the Star Wars side of things, but I get what you mean. Yeah.
Also, thank you. I'm assuming all these gonks are more subs, so thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll try to catch up right whenever we're done looking. Next one's gonna be Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, this was great.
This was a great one. This one is, again, Mace Windu kind of there in there, but we also get Palpatine as well with his full face down there. But this one is interesting because I had seen that Drew did a couple different versions of this one in terms of like the planning stage and Vader's helmet in the back. In the first ones, it's a lot more subtle. And like every time he would do a new draft of this one, it got bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it's like everyone is overshadowed by the Revenge of the Sith, which is what they did to the precious chosen one.
Sure.
Turned him into Darth Vader.
It could have been cool too. Like I don't know what other versions he had. We need to see like his different stages or something. But if you had this kind of mirror episode 1 with like Maul back there, but it's Vader's mask, and like that's looming over Anakin right there in the middle, kind of thing. Like that's kind of a neat idea. That's kind of what it has here. It's just not quite as zoomed in. Also, this one, have we had where like the same characters on there more than once?
No. Well, I mean,
this might be the first time I've had that.
Yes, kind of. But this one has like. I mean, I'm counting 4 Anakins.
1, 2, 3. Are you counting his spaceship?
I'm counting who's flying that. We know that Actus class
could be anyone.
That's Obi-Wan, baby.
R2 could be flying it.
No,
you know
he ain't flying it.
How you know?
He's dealing with the buzz droids, man. Hit the center eye.
No, there's no buzz droids on that ship. I'm looking at it. It could be. They're not there yet. R2 could just.
If
be
Anakin's
flying.
in a ship, he's the one flying it. That's how it goes.
Well, you don't know that he's in it though. That's what I'm saying.
He's in it.
You don't know. You don't know.
He's in it until it crashes.
Don't know, right, Gonk? See, till it crashes.
Yeah.
But no, I do really like this one, and I do like the hints of the stars back there too. You know, I don't know. I feel like that kind of conveys like all the systems that are like hanging in the balance between like whatever happens here between this battle of good versus evil. You know,
there's something about Struzan's painted lens flares that feels so like old Hollywood to me. And then, of course,
you do that one.
A peek into the future. We move on to the last Drew Struzan poster with Star Wars The Force Awakens. Definitely breaking a lot of the conventions he usually would do with the special edition ones, you know? And the prequel trilogy in terms of like this being like a full one sheet all the way to the edge with color and stuff. But still, I think an incredibly badass poster.
He uses lines in this one a lot where like all of them, like from the gun to Kylo, like they're all going the same angle.
Yeah, it reminds me of, I think it's the episode 2 one that had Obi-Wan's like kind of framing the right side. This is kind of like giving you parallax lines with those sabers and the staff.
But it's all just a little off.
It's
not like it's straight up and down. It's just a little bit this way. But it's also, parallel with it all too.
There's just something about this one where I look at it and I instantly want I want on a Trapper Keeper. I don't know what Trapper Keeper. Doesn't that just feel like a Trapper Keeper image? I mean, come on.
I suppose so.
Like, I will make up reasons to do paperwork just to have a Trapper Keeper with that image.
You don't need paperwork, Eric.
Yeah.
No.
Oof.
I do like they're not super apparent, but on the left you have like little X-Wings kind of there, almost like seagulls and birds flying away. But on the right you have in the space aspect, like the little blue of the TIE fighters kind of in there too, and
which is really interesting because in the movie the one on the left has TIE fighters coming in that Apocalypse Now sunset look, you know, whereas I mean I guess you get a scene like this with Tokodana as the Black Squadron is coming to rescue people, but that's during the day, you know, it's high in the sky, high noon, you know.
I just think they're playing on that good, like light side, dark side. Like,
agreed.
It's interesting that you give. I mean, it makes sense in there, but like you have Finn holding, you know, a lightsaber, like the Jedi lightsaber, and then opposite of Kylo over there holding that.
You know what's really strange? Like we were just talking about how this movie's going to be 10 years old in just a couple weeks. Are you like? I'm nostalgic for it.
Nostalgic?
I have nostalgia for for watching that first trailer 1,000 times, for looking at any of these memorabilia and being like, dude, Finn's the new Jedi, you know? I don't know what's going on with this lady. I don't know who this person is, you know? Trying to just I always letting your mind just go with what could be was just so fun in the Force Awakens era.
I definitely always think of this speeder going through the sand to like the Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
I always think about that and stuff too.
When Finn comes up the first time, it's that bump. Well, you know, Luke on the edge of the pit of Carcoon, you know, that sound effect.
Boom.
Oh man.
But I don't know. The nostalgia, there's probably some there.
Yeah.
I need to watch it again. It's been a long time. I mean, it's only been 10 years, but
I mean, I remember
I've seen it more since.
I literally remember where I was when I heard, hey, George Lucas just sold Star Wars to Disney and they're making a movie.
Yeah.
I was in my bedroom at our apartment.
Yeah.
That is when me and you were looking for a place, and I'm like, I hate my place. You want to get a place together?
Yeah.
On the Ingleside apartment. Yeah.
I remember that.
I was there when that happened, so it is nostalgic for me a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a bit, so yeah.
It's been a bit.
It has a little bit there.
I mean, that was much longer than 10 years
also,
ago.
it's one of my favorite of the sequel trilogy. I think because it's so similar to some of the other Star Wars elements, but it was also introducing me to all these new characters and where the galaxy was now, and I like Poe, and I like these characters, like where do they fit into this new like Resistance versus not quite the Empire kind of thing going on, and it's this here like getting Han Solo back into this and having him here. Like I don't know, there's nostalgia I think, but it's also like. I don't know how to describe it because it's like there is a little, but it's not as heavy.
No, I get what you mean.
So
there's a nostalgia onion. I'm just saying,
onion. That's a good way to put it.
Like a new layer has formed for me. I'm like, oh my god, this layer's hard too now. It's not fresh anymore.
Sure, I have there's deeper nostalgia in the middle of the onion. Yeah, no, but yeah, no, I would like maybe I don't know, maybe watching it again would be good. Like how we did like Rogue One. And like talking about it or something like that could be cool to do.
I'm down, man. That would be fun.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun. All right, everybody. That was a look back on Drew Struzan Star Wars posters. But we also had Jake and Gonk himself went and gathered a bunch of other Struzan posters, and I wanted to see, or I should say we wanted to see what ones resonated with you. What are some that you might recognize, or what are ones that you have never seen before? Because this guy is one of the most prolific
He's done
poster designers in the world. So let's go ahead and start going through some of these.
I know of a couple he's done. An American
Fievel
Tale
Goes West, baby.
Well, now this is the first one, right?
I know. I think of Fievel Goes West so much in my
I think a lot of people went to Fievel Goes West. For some reason, I think the sequel was more popular than the first one.
I see Fievel, and I Goes West just rings in my brain first. But, I mean, this one, even that starburst on top of the Statue of Liberty, it does really evoke that. It's
a style that I think he has that he's used and he puts it. I'll be interested like as we go through some of these, and maybe if I look at other ones that maybe we don't look at, like how often is that kind of a thing that he does of just and like
how he handles light.
What's it represent too, right? Like this in this movie here, it's him. In American Tale, he's going out trying to find a new place to live, and like that's hope, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's what you're also trying to convey in the Star Wars posters is like hope. Hope's a big part of Star Wars, so. But yeah, American Tale. I do not know this one as well. I didn't. Gotcha. I watched Fievel Goes West a lot more. But, But yeah.
All right. Angels in the Outfield.
Angels in the Outfield.
Do you remember Angels in the Outfield, dude?
Yeah.
Just call me out.
I always think of I think there's a trailer I think of more so, but it had Lloyd like on like the out of bounds thing, like.
Yeah, I get you. I remember that.
I always think of that scene, but. No, and you also get a little bit around the ball there, right? His kind of like lens flare kind of look there. But it's also this one's a little less of like hope, but a little bit more of like that mystical, angelical kind of like magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And again, there's just something about the way he handles light on faces and the like where he chooses to put shadows. In photographs and in art, shadows are like they tell you where the light is. And there's just something about his that like he uses shadows so wonderfully. It just enhances the light. I love it so much.
Man, I need to watch this movie again. It's been so
long.
Great
movie. You're gonna recognize some
Tony
of these.
Danza. I didn't know he was in that. Sorry.
Next one. You're gonna recognize these ones.
I knew he did a Back to the Future. I think he did all three, didn't he?
He did. We actually have the first one too, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love, and I just the way that the way the movies are and the way those posters are. Yeah. I love the stacking element that he does with them is so cool. And I think the car, like this one here, we have the Back to the Future 2 car, but I'm pretty sure in the first one, it's like it you have that, and it's like okay, well there's the car with that and the fire lines because that was so iconic for the movie and everything, and the light glare. This one is less of that lens flare look, but more of just this magic coming from something, from this device kind of thing, and I love that. But then when you get to like 2 and you get to 3, like that vehicle changes up as it needs to, but you get a little bit more stacked on there.
Same. Yeah.
And I really like how he did those.
I so agree.
And I don't think you need much more on that, Like I think that's it. I think those are enough. Oh, dude, I love him with the shoes and everything too.
Yeah. All right, I know we have a bunch. We'll keep going through some of these here. It is almost already. It's past 4 already. Jesus. Okay. Better Off Dead. You know Better Off Dead?
Is that Cusack?
Yeah, John Cusack. Yep.
Yeah,
but
dude,
again,
I think this is the $3 for milk or whatever. No, $3. $3. Newspaper Boy. I think it was in this movie.
Yeah.
Give me my $3 or $2 or whatever.
I'm not really familiar.
There's
with
a little like newspaper kid, and like
Gotcha.
he keeps bothering John Cusack trying to get his money for the paper route. I don't know why. That's in my head. I've seen this a long time ago, I think.
Gotcha.
I forget what all the movie's about, but I like the art of it.
Mm.
It's hard for me to be like, I get what he's conveying in this one because I can't.
I can see Drew in this, but I'm not familiar with this one. Oh, this one.
Big Trouble Little China.
Drew, yeah.
I think I've seen this movie, but it has been a long time.
I've never seen this movie. And that's usually followed with, what?
Yeah.
I've never seen
right?
it. We'll have to do it one day if you're not
We should,
very familiar.
I think I saw it. I don't know. But I like that. That's a really cool poster, though. This one also kind of conveys like that, the movie or the serial, like it has like that older, like 80s, 70s feel to it. I like it. He did Blade Runner?
Yeah.
I didn't know he did Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. That's the final cut cover there.
I love the lighting choice. How we talked about like stars in Star Wars, where it was like shooting stars. This one has like shooting stars coming down, but it's more of conveying the rain because it's always raining.
Rain and neon, right?
Yeah.
There's like neon in smoke.
Yeah, like the letters and stuff kind of running up through there, where like that's really cool too. I like that. But yeah, just I don't know. Blade Runner was just such a wet movie.
Super wet, dude. Super wet.
Coming to America. Dude, I love that movie. Dude, he is so big.
Yeah, it's Kaiju Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. There's like cars driving between his feet. Okay.
And Star Wars royalty in there. Literally James Earl Jones as king.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cutthroat Island.
Cutthroat Island.
Which I think is kind of like a Treasure Island pirate-like movie. I don't know if I know this one.
Yeah, I don't know this one either, but it has that Treasure Island feel to it.
It's not Sean Connery in the bottom left, is it? I can't tell.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it is. But this one, I especially love the old map look around his. The way he frames things in these posters is always interesting.
Kind of makes me think of Hook or something like that. I think Hook's kind of similar in that style.
Well, maybe we'll have to see if that one's on here too. Yeah, go ahead and go to the next one, please.
That was Matthew Modine in the top left, though.
Matthew Modine. Okay.
In the top left. Hey, I love DuckTales.
Yep. Definitely gives you the Indiana Jones feel.
Yeah, they're coming through a cave, and I like that a lot.
Yep,
that one's really good.
Yep. All right, we're gonna go ahead and speed through some of the rest so we can get to our next stuff.
I don't know anything about. I know a little bit about Rambo, but not a lot.
First Blood. Yep.
There's not even Rambo on this. Harlem Nights. I think I've seen that one. It's been a long time, but I like that too. I like the way they're like it's the negative space, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't. There must be a suit there, but they're not really using it for like framing of their bodies or anything.
The choices of the shape of the rectangle and how that informs both, like both of their silhouettes with the white and black hat, just so cool.
Yeah.
Of course, Harry Potter.
Okay.
Did so many of those.
There's a lot on that too.
There certainly is. I mean, that rendering of Hogwarts on the top is just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Got some Hellboy, which I quite enjoyed.
I don't think I've seen Hellboy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They're really good, man.
I think I've seen like a fight in one of them somewhere at some point, but I forget. I think they were on top of like platforms or something.
Oh, man, why can't I think of the name of the actor who plays Hellboy? Ron Perlman. He is so good in this. Oh. I would put this and his wonderful performance in Blade 2. Some of my favorites from Ron Perlman.
Blade 2, okay.
Dude, it's awesome. All right, next we got
Hocus
Pocus.
Dude, I love this, and they're on top of a vacuum. Like I love that because it's just so kooky. Oh, there's the cat. I haven't really looked at this. Like I like the cable kind of hanging down on the side, but the mysticalness around Hocus Pocus.
Yeah,
over the top of the moon because witches always fly in front of the moon.
Really feels like it captures the essence of that movie.
Yeah, the cat hanging on. Poor Mary trying to hang on too, but like Sarah gets to like sit like all like proper on a horse kind of look,
Love that movie.
Yeah, that's great.
You there. Of course,
Hook.
You talked about it earlier. This is one of my favorite posters of all time. I love this poster.
It has that treasure map kind of feel on it too, so you keep that white border out there to give you that treasure map look. Because if you go to the edges, you can't like feather it, you know. But yeah, I like the hook there. I like the hook being front and center too.
Me too.
But you keep Robin and Shoot.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin, yeah.
Yep.
Keep them both like big and front and center too. Which is
I
really
knew
cool.
who Dustin Hoffman was, but in my head, I always had a separation of James Hook and him.
Oh yeah.
I was always just like, no, that Hook guy exists somewhere. Trust me.
I don't think he's super recognizable in the role. I feel like he disappears for me, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas like other times, I'm like, Dustin Hoffman. I just know it's him now, you know? Except I forgot his name.
And Julia Roberts too. She's in there.
Yep. But she's always so tiny, you almost can't realize it's her.
Yeah, it has. That's the weirdest part of the movie.
I do like that they give like a little bit of that halo light moment to her there.
Yeah,
Give her a little bit of a twinkle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one. And the croc down there in the bottom right.
TikTok.
Yeah. All right, what's the next one there?
Of course,
Indiana.
Jones. This is the Last Crusade. I think he's done all of them.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
They might be later.
Yeah.
Last Crusade's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
This one has a lot too. I love the horse there and him like riding into it.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. And you get a little bit of everybody
Sala
on here
up
too.
there. I like the way everything's framed in with the columns on the side.
Yeah.
So cool. We had we have a peek on what the next one is.
Yeah, Mallrats. Okay. That's funny that he did this one too.
I mean, Kevin Smith would have been like, okay, I actually have money for my, because this is right after Clerks, and they're like, hey, you just won Sundance and all that stuff. Here's some money. What do you want to do for the poster? He's like, Drew Struzan.
That's so funny. That's why you have it kind of like
Yeah.
It has remnants of the
It's very Star Wars in
Star
there.
Wars
Yeah.
like on the leg kind of thing that they've done.
No, I mean, Stan Lee's special appearance in the bottom right is
It's
so
comic
cool.
booky.
That's so comic booky. And I mean, of course, it is laid out like a comic book with the number 1 at the top and
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So just a classic, and I love that movie. Sailboat.
Chocolate pretzels, man.
Yep. That's Michael Rooker.
Mhm.
That's the first thing I've ever seen Michael Rooker in.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know
Chocolate covered pretzel. All right.
What's the next one there, Gonk?
Masters of the
Ah.
Universe. That's a really cool one with the negative space of the cloak being the space around him. Really cool.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah,
right.
that actually is cool. I like that a lot.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna speed through the rest real quick here. If any,
Yes,
if any
Muppet Treasure
pop
Island.
out,
It's so
yeah.
good.
Oh, dude.
I love Muppet Treasure Island.
Absolutely. Look at him up there in the top left, our boy.
Yeah, but the focus is the Muppets.
This the Muppets.
All the
get you.
people are small in the top
Hey.
left, but the Muppets are the focus.
Hey,
And
that
the
guy,
treasure.
Tim Curry, played Palpatine. That's Star Wars royalty up there.
Yeah. Oh,
Police Academy.
Okay.
Love that.
I like the
Mhm.
lines too.
Yeah.
What's the next one? Oh, Raiders.
Raiders.
Oh, I don't remember this one.
Yeah, I think this is a 10th anniversary one. I think that Raiders of the Lost Ark has like a 1 and 0 behind it, maybe. I
Okay.
can't be 100% certain.
I like how like you kind of have that nod towards the little people there in the corners, like
Yeah.
kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, like we had in the other one. But I
Yeah.
love the light shine. Like you can't quite tell what the arc is there and how like it's just bright and
I would say like I probably wouldn't be staying on it.
they're behind it. I think.
Oh,
you know?
okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, gotcha.
Risky business.
That's a very non-Struzan style to me,
It doesn't feel like the rest of them.
which I appreciate that he had like a different stuff out there. More
Yeah,
Indiana
like
Jones.
this one goes back to feeling more like some of his other work and
Oh,
stuff
look, our
too.
boy Short Round.
I love to go around. Dude, I love the left side
No
though.
time for love, Dr. Jones.
He does a lot, and maybe it's not just him, but like just posters and stuff in general, having more of like good on this side versus bad on one side.
Yeah,
You know, like
definitely.
a lot of that where it's like the fire and the bad stuff versus like, oh, here's all the good guys, and it's a little bit lighter and.
If adventure has a name, it must be Indiana Jones. The
Flintstones?
dude. I never
Dude.
realized that was a Drew Struzan, but yeah, I can totally see it in the lighting.
Yeah, the lighting's one of the
That's
things
crazy.
that push that. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. That's cool.
I haven't either, man. I heard they're making a Jetsons
Yeah.
with
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yes, the Goonies.
The
I was pretty
Goonies.
sure he did one of these.
Yeah.
I love this one, like the trail of them holding on and like just hanging on to each other. I think it also fits really well into the movie because like together, like the Goonies, like Goonies never say die. You know,
Yeah.
like it's them sticking together and that's their strength.
It's interesting having Josh Brolin's character as like the main focus. But I guess that makes sense. It's just such an ensemble cast. I never really think about, well, he's the main guy.
Sure. I mean, a lot of it is Sean Astin, but
Yeah.
I think that those two are the main ones. A lot of it's based on those brothers that really kick everything into gear.
It's just that he's way down there.
Yeah, sure.
The Great Muppet Caper. That's a good one. I love the news story, the breaking out of the news. That's cool.
Yeah, on a motorcycle.
On a motorcycle.
Christmas Carol, also another good one.
One that I only recently.
Yeah, well, that was like last Christmas, I think.
There's a reaction. You've only seen it for a year. Channel.
That's a good one. I like that.
And the name of the rose. That's Sean Connery. I recognize that head.
Yeah, I don't
know
this movie, but it does have that same kind of idea of Indiana Jones with those on the side. So,
all right. Well, I don't know how many more are left, but we really do got to get moving on to the next thing. So yeah, Shawshank. That's fantastic. The Thing, probably one of the best posters in the history of poster making.
It also really uses that light.
Oh,
but it's like, what is that? You don't know what that light is. That's great. I love that. Oh, we're back. I remember that.
I remember we're back. I forgot about that.
That's a good one. I like
I'm a Land Before Time guy myself.
We're back, Eric.
We're back.
Yeah. See, Land Before Time happens, and then they come back because they're in the city.
Yep. All right. Well, that was a good walk down memory lane with one of the best to ever do it. I know Drew later in life. I think he developed dementia. Some of the greatest artistic voices and hands are taken from us too soon. I would have loved to have gotten Drew's take on not just the two saga movies he missed, but Rogue One and Solo as well.
Yeah.
All right, and we did miss out on, not miss, but we did get some subscriptions here.
Cole Loves Stories, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Ms. Winter Soldier, thank you for the bits. And Bookbees, thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
There's a mini Faulty Towers reunion in the Great Muppet Caper. Huh.
Is there?
Whenever I would have seen that, I would not have known anything about Faulty Towers. So I have to watch that again maybe sometime.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right, Aaron. Well, again, we don't have a book today.
Yes.
But the reason we don't have a book because it is Scream Stream, and it is Scream Stream month. So we're doing streams all throughout the month that are scary, and we thought to bring a little bit of the scariness. We're going to be talking some, not just with our orange lighting, but we're going to be talking a little bit about the scariest Star Wars creatures.
Ah, yes.
All
creatures.
Right. Now, with my list, I do have 10. Not necessarily in any order. I figured we can just kind of go through it here.
I did mine in order.
You got yours in order? All right. We'll go off of yours. I also tried to be, go a little crazy, and I have a couple like old EU stuff in here, and just anything that I thought, this would scare the crap out of me.
Sure.
So
yeah. I kind of did that. I also I'll go as I go through. I'll kind of explain some of my things on some different aspects of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think there's some things that might have been scary that are on other parts of this, but then I chose other stuff too. So
yeah.
All right. I'll start with my number 10, which I put the Minox.
Minox.
I think part of it is
power cables.
They chew on power cables, but I think they're scary. They have I don't like their face.
Yeah.
And they're that bat, but they're bigger than bats kind of thing.
Yeah, they're gooey.
And I just think that that's a scary creature that, like, if I was just outside and it just, like, started flying around at me, like, I would not like it, and I would be scared of that.
Also, like, considering they, live everywhere in the galaxy, but they especially live in, the mouth of a big space slug.
Sure. Like, we see that they're in there,
yeah.
But then there was whatever story we were doing where, like, they were building, like, the Death Star and Minox were an issue that they were having, right? They just travel through space.
Yeah.
So, like, one of my thoughts in this, too, was, like, how likely am I to see X?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I get you.
So part of it, like, I feel like Minox live throughout the galaxy, and I think they're one of the smaller, scary things in the galaxy.
Okay. Well, I'll go to my number 10. It is a small thing to be scared of of the galaxy, but is the Cahoon, which are the two little worms that are put into Padme Amidala's apartment.
Oh.
The ASN droid, just pops them in. And the thing that's scary about them is that they are attracted to heat. So anything warm, they just want to go and bite it.
Just bite it?
Just bite you.
Terrible.
They sting you, and then you're pretty much dead in hours. But they also have an instinct. It's not like a learned behavior. They have an instinct from when they're born to be stealthy. They do not want to be seen, which is why they avoid R2's very advanced detection. R2 can sense life forms from miles away on Hoth, but he can't tell that these two little worms are in here.
Sure, but that was later. Maybe he got upgrades.
Maybe he got upgrades.
They took out his boosters
and put in a better
life scanner.
Yeah, I understand. But those things, I mean, insects scare me anyway, just because we just have a primal fear of them from iniquity.
Yeah.
Like we've developed a sense of being tickled to try to avoid bugs.
Yeah, sure.
So there's just something innate when I see they have like 80 little legs. They're just creepy, and when I think about something that scares me, I'm always in my head being like, okay, if I freak out enough, can I scare it? Maybe we can like have like a scare off, and maybe I'll live.
Okay.
But I feel like these things, like they can just be sleeping. They just come for you because you're warm, and they don't want to eat you. They just want to bite you. Things, I hate them. They scare me.
Okay, makes sense.
Cahoons.
My next one is, I debated on putting this one on here, but after I went back and looked at what it looked like again, I'm like, you know what? That's a really scary thing. I put the Acklay as my number 9.
Oh, the Acklay.
I think it's also kind of spider-like, which also kind of triggers a lot of people don't like spiders.
Yeah.
And also it just has a lot of teeth.
It's just it's a killing machine.
It is.
Dude.
That's all. It's just, and it's there. I mean, the Nexu would be kind of scary too, but I think this thing is a scarier looking
I get
creature.
What you mean.
Cats are scary and they're hunters. This thing is just a terrifying looking monster coming at you. The other thing's a rhino. When you look at what's in the arena.
You're right. I feel like the Nexu and the Reek, maybe you could train them and they'll be cool, but I feel like the Acklay is never cool. It's always
it's a scary looking
thing. It's always just something about whenever it gets that stick and it just chomps it in half.
Pulls it out of its body.
It feels so sinister.
Yeah.
It's I like killing people in this gladiator arena.
Yeah.
The Reek feels like I hate this place. I'm trying to get away.
Yeah. And they ride it, So especially when you just compare it to those 3, which people think about from the arena there in episode 2. But
good old Pachinaki arena.
Whenever I looked at a picture of it, when I was looking through what are some what species can I think of that are scary looking?
Dude.
I'm what's the Acklay look like?
Walking in the woods and that thing just starts charging over the hill.
It's just a
terrible sound too. I hate that thing.
So yeah, I put an Acklay.
That's a good one.
Some of the Acklays are ferocious.
Yep.
And lilacs? Wait, which ones are lilacs?
All right, here's my next one, Aaron. I hesitated putting this one on my list just because I was trying to go, okay, is this a Star Wars creature? When I think of honestly, when I think of this list, I'm thinking of monsters.
Okay.
Jedi find value in all life, but when a big monster shows up, they do not hesitate to kill them.
Sure.
So this one is Borgullet.
Oh, okay.
I have Borgullet on my list. Now, Borgullet...
I think that's a monster, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Borgullet is a psychic creature.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a hut or a very lazy, cannot move very well. I won't even use the word lazy. It just naturally doesn't move. So it has this enhanced intelligence-seeking hypnotic power that is its only value. The problem is that as it reads you, it destroys you. So it's only utilization destroys the subject,
Yeah.
Which is just terrifying to think, yeah, that's what we went and saw Guerrera's hands.
Yeah. No, I get that.
So it's obviously Saw pushing this thing to go too deep into Bodhi Rook, but I hate the idea of something that can take my agency away.
Okay.
Yeah. And that thing just takes it from you.
Yeah. You lose it all.
And then I also just love saying, Borgullet will take your mind.
Okay. My next one, also, I have one later on where I was like, I'm going to put this one, but I'm like, maybe it's a monster. I had a similar question thing. We can get to it later. But I mentioned about the Acklay being a kind of weird spider creature. My number 8 was ice spiders.
Ooh.
/ the Krykna.
Okay. Also on my list, so I'll also
they're both on your list?
Krykna here, too. Yeah.
I put them both on here just because they're both kind of similar in that.
Yeah.
And I think they're both, when you see in Rebels and when you see in The Mandalorian, they just swarm. There's so many. They're scary. They're giant human-sized spiders, and in Mandalorian, Razor Crest size spider. Like that one is huge, and
I don't think until I saw them in live action was I really like. Oh no, that sucks.
Yeah,
those are terrible. I hate them. When I saw them in Rebels, I got such a kick out of like, oh dude, this in the old concept art in Dagobah they had this spider, like this knobby white spider it was called.
Oh, cool.
So I had like yay, and it also had that added benefit of like, well, if you're a Force user like Kanan, as long as you don't show fear, they won't attack you. They only attack things that show fear. I'm like, that's cool. But guess what? In The Mandalorian, I don't have the patience of a Jedi. I would show fear, and I would be dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the 2 X-Wings wouldn't be quick enough to save me.
Dead.
Ugh.
So I put
I think the Crichton is a really good one on
yeah.
that. Yep. Okay. The Crichton was also mine, so I'll just go with my next one here. I'm going to go, I think this counts, Rat Ghouls from Terrace and KOTOR. Are they on your list?
I had them tied with one.
With one?
Well, because
yeah,
it's a similar reasoning to it, but I was like, if this one doesn't count because we're just looking at canon, I don't think Rat Ghouls are in canon anywhere.
I ain't looking at just canon.
So
not with fear.
like,
fear there's no rationality when it comes to fear, so we're putting them all in there.
Yeah.
Dude, Rat Ghouls, that sucks. Because it's not just a bite, it's a scratch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The spreading of it where it's like now there's more. Yeah. Now it's worse. It's like a zombie kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's terrifying.
Yeah.
And they used to be human.
I know.
And then just poof, and they turn into this. It's scary.
It's terrifying.
And you get a little horde of them coming at you. That's terrible.
Yeah. They also appeared a little bit in the Knights of the Republic comic book that I love so much with Zane Carrick. And I think they also appear in the Old Republic a little bit too, the MMO.
SWTOR? Yeah.
I think they do. I think the plague comes back.
Yeah.
But in terms of like space zombies, which we've had a couple versions of space zombies now in Star Wars, they're probably the most terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. My next one as far as scary things, I put Ogdo. I was trying to think of creatures from like all of Star Wars I could.
Okay.
The Ogdo was one of my toughest battles in Jedi Fallen Order / Survivor with
I can't
the
believe
Spawn.
I didn't put that on my list.
And I was like, you know what? Seeing that, like this frog alligator kind of creature or whatever, like just coming out and getting you, like that thing is a scary creature and it's so hard to fight. And I was a Jedi,
Hey,
like,
you know what? None of these on my list give me PTSD like that one does. So
like,
you're right. Yeah,
I thought about putting a Rancor at one point. I didn't put it on my list.
Me too.
But Luke Skywalker, a Jedi, beat that thing with a skull and a bone, you know?
Yeah.
I had a lightsaber, I had force powers, and this thing ate me so many times.
Yeah. So, I survived the Clone Wars, but I didn't survive that thing for 80 tries.
Yeah.
Man.
So I was like, I'm putting Ogdo in here.
I think that's a worthy addition. All right. My next one is going to be a Vixus. So a Vixus is from Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It's on Umbara, and it very much looks like, oh, look, there's like some leaves on the ground or some vines or something. And then you step on them. And then this, when I understand it, a Vixus, actually, no, I'll give that piece of trivia later.
Okay.
But they're like, this mouth just kind of appears, like medium-sized mouth. There's nothing worse to me, Aaron, than a medium-sized mouth. I hate little like bug mouths, because they bite you, but I'm giant. I'm going to kill it, I might also die, but I won.
Okay.
Rancors and, giant monsters, like, what am I going to do?
A big mouth that eats you and you're gone.
All I can hope for is that they'll eat me quick. They won't swallow me whole. I don't want to experience what it's like to be digested. But like medium mouths, like this kind of like ball pops up and it starts eating you, it's going to take so long for me to die from this thing. I hate it. I was so happy when I thought Pong Krell was going to be killed by it.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. And it's almost like a trap, right?
It's a trap. I walk in the woods all the time. Like I love being outdoors and doing that type of thing. And just the idea of like just not paying attention to where you're going and then you're just snapped up and it starts eating you slowly.
Yeah.
I hate it. Vixus.
Okay.
I had to look up the name. I couldn't remember what it was.
Vixus?
Yep.
All right. Number 6, I put the Crate Dragon. Mainly because of Mandalorian.
Mandalorian Crate Dragon.
After seeing it with its like acid breath and like it's traveling underground, just pops up and gets you all. I'm like, this is a scary thing, and
it is.
And I don't know, like, is it only on Tatooine? Has it ever been on other sandy planets? I should avoid anywhere sand is, just in case. The idea that it could just be underground and just pop up and get you is terrible. Like, the Sarlacc is awful in Tatooine, but it doesn't come after you.
Yeah.
You just should not fall into it. The Crate Dragon can just come and get you.
Yeah.
And it's so big. You saw how many people it took to take it down? It's huge and scary.
But, dude, that pearl.
Well, yeah, the pearl's really neat. But also, like, I mean, it is huntable. People do hunt it.
Yeah.
What was the story we just did with Luke?
Mm-hmm.
And there was that one girl who was like, I hunted a Crate Dragon.
Yeah.
You know? But I ain't going to do that.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's a worthy one. It's been in Star Wars for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Good. And it sounds terrifying. You know? That's a scary thing.
That is scary. Oh, man. Love it. Okay, my next one is going to be a Rathtar.
Rathtar, okay.
From The Force Awakens. Now, a Vixus, a Rathtar, and a Sarlacc.
Walk into a bar.
Sorry. Apparently, they all come from the same common ancestor.
Oh, okay.
So
they're all kind of
terrifying ancient animal spread its way across the galaxy, and then as it got on various planets,
they evolved.
Into different things. I thought that's interesting.
Gotcha. So one turned into like I'm a trap.
Yeah.
Another one turned into like I'm a sandhole trap.
Yep.
With a beak.
And this one
turned to a giant rolling meatball.
I'm a big rolling meatball with tentacles and teeth.
Yeah. It is a scary looking thing.
It's terrifying.
I don't know where you find these things, but that's it. I thought about that one.
King Prana, just like, I don't know where to find him. Han Solo, you go get him.
I thought about it. Like, honestly, I probably should. I wanted to put Minok on here, but I probably should have cut off Minok and put Rathtar.
Put the Rathtar.
But yeah, I think those are a scary thing too.
Yeah, Finn, whenever he's talking about like, yeah, Rathar's on board, he evokes the Trilla massacre, which I always was like, Trilla, like Fallen Order, that's cool. But apparently the Trilla massacre is Rathars, but they're like dwarf Rathars. So not only do they roll at you, but like they can like get in like little spaces and like surprise you.
Oh, dude, it's like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah, it is like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
That's kind of scary, man.
It's funny, like, I find them terrifying. But J.J. Abrams talks about when he designed them, when he's working on the design, he's like, I want something scary that scares, like, 11-year-olds, you know, but not so scary that the 11-year-olds are like, and freaking out, you know? It needs to be fun, too. And I just think about him saying that, and then I watch the scene, and I'm like, no. Like, the Kanji Club is getting eaten and torn alive, you know? Yeah. Like, the best fighters in Indonesia, you know, from the raid, are just getting destroyed by these things.
These things are scarier.
Yeah, they're terrifying.
Okay.
So, Rathars make it there for me.
All right.
With their 12 tentacles. I had to memorize it. They had 12 tentacles for Schmodown.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm glad you remembered.
I did.
My number 5, I talked about how the Crate Dragon, it's scary where it's under the ground, you don't know when it's coming out kind of thing, and it can pop up and get you whenever. Mm-hmm. This one has a similar thing, the Dianaga.
Yeah.
I think that, like, I don't know what all water it can live in, necessarily.
Sure.
I know it was in the trash compactor.
One man's trash is another person's hunting ground.
Yeah, right? I also remember, as a kid, playing Shadows of the Empire, and being in the sewer and seeing what it can look like under the water. And that always lived in my head rent-free of like, oh my God, under the water it can pull you down and who knows what else is like. It was so big. So I just think the Dianaga, and I can't remember if that's what it was in Bad Batch or not too, but it was also whenever there's water, like comes living in there, I'm always like, Dianaga.
Yeah.
And like it's a constant little fear when you have water and you're like, ooh, could something be in there?
It really is.
Dianaga.
I can remember being at the Williamstown pool and seeing the water, not being able to see what's under the water, and being convinced there were sharks in there.
Yeah, right?
I mean, I was just a dumb kid.
Yeah.
But the unknown, you can just paint so many pictures in there.
Yeah.
So there is something about this, like, still water.
And you can't see into it.
And
it's
they're
not
like
clear.
And they're standing in it. It's like up to their shins. Like, how is this thing, you know?
Yeah. No.
Crazy.
What how did you pull him? Where did he go?
Where'd he go?
He was standing there, and now like Han can't even find him, but he's standing right where he was.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
It's also just something so cool about like they certainly didn't intend for that thing to be there. It's like rats on ships. It's like, what are you guys doing, man?
Yeah.
Get on the land.
It got in there,
stupid rats. But
Yeah.
that's where they live. This thing lives on a space station.
Yeah. No, I thought about because like Naboo has like the dang it, I can't think of what they're called. Gooberfish, like those the bigger fish.
OBC hunters and the
Like,
clawfish.
That
and
big
thing.
like Godzilla looking kind of one that's under
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like
Sando Aquata Monster. Yeah.
like those ones are also scary. But I'm like, you know what? I just don't go under the water.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to the core.
Exactly.
And I'm okay. But this isn't. This is like there's water and I can't see what's under it, and it
Yeah.
could grab me and take me.
Exactly.
And I think that's scarier.
It's very scary. Like I have a fear of being underground, but like I never have to confront it because I was never going to go
Just
underground.
don't go underground.
Whereas like needles can pop out of nowhere.
Why'd you point? Where's Calvin?
All right. Well, I'm getting into my last three. Oh no, I'm sorry. My last four. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe so.
I'm gonna go.
I think you might have 5. I don't know how many you have.
I
think
have
you
4
have
left.
4 left, but I named one of your spiders.
Gotcha. Okay. My next one is going to be the Suma Verminorth. Not North.
That's your number
Noth.
4?
Yeah.
That's my number 4.
That's your number 4?
Hey, we can talk about it together.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Suma-
a scary thing.
It is really scary. I mean, again, I don't know how often I'm going to be going against like a mall of black holes.
Sure, yeah. That's the thing. I was like, where all in space does this live exactly?
Yeah.
Because one of the reasons I didn't want the Exogorth, the big slugworm, was like, what's inside asteroids? If I just don't go into asteroid fields,
Yeah.
I think I'll be okay. But I was like, is this thing just inside this weird mall thing?
Dude, could you imagine? Like you're sent to the Spice Mines of Kessel. You got to toil and live in those conditions, but finally you escape. You get a ship. You get out there, and then this big, freaking,
With all the teeth,
gigantic
tentacles.
It's 4 miles long.
It's always tentacles.
It's tentacles. I know it was Cthulhian, right?
Yeah.
It's Lovecraftian. It's 4 miles long. This creature.
It's really big.
And like apparently it was like attracted to the black holes, and the black holes like make it sleepy. Because it handles time a little bit differently than we do, so it rests on the edge of the event horizon, and it gets like sleepy until food, and then it wants to eat. I mean, it's not necessarily scary, but it has one of the coolest deaths.
It does, yeah.
Where a black hole rips its skin off, and you just see its skeleton, and then eventually go in.
Yeah. And the only reason they got away was because of the black hole.
Yeah.
Whereas, Han escapes the Exogorth later on in his life.
Fly away from
but he
the
just flies
asteroid,
from the asteroid, and then it's like, oh, I missed that one. That's it. So, yeah, I definitely... Because I looked at the Exogorth, I'm like, that's a scary thing. And we talked about it earlier. But I think this thing is
thing's
worse.
scarier. I agree. The Summer of Verminorth.
Worse.
All right.
So we both did 4. Now we're on top 3 then.
Okay. You go for your 3.
My number 3 was where I had the rat ghoul.
Okay, gotcha.
But in case I was like, well, if that doesn't work, it was rat ghoul / the Geonosian brainworm.
Brainworms are on my list too.
I thought that they're both that similar zombie kind of aspect where it's like, I'm like, I don't know who is a Geonosian brainwormed individual. Mm-hmm. If they capture me and give me a brainworm, or if I see an army of rat ghouls flying at me, running at me, like, I don't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Like, that's terrible. Like you said about Swator, like, you land on Terrace and you go and you're investigating, like, aspects of things, and you just can, like, oh, shoot, there they are.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get poisoned by them, So I think both of those are in that zombie realm.
They are.
And they're both, like, zombies are just scary,
Every time I watch those episodes, actually, you know what? I have to go pee so bad. I'm going to go do that, because if not, we're going to have a problem. So
okay.
You got to vamp for, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
I'll be right back.
2 minutes of
man,
vamping.
when I get back off, the stories you're going to hear.
The stories we'll hear. All right. I did see that there was a super chat earlier, so I can probably look at that real quick because I don't want to miss it and at least keep it in mind. So thank you, Jordan, because they said #BenSoloLives. But they also had another one, and let's see. Being overwhelmed with internet culture these days, I've found refuge in Eric's Survivor streams, and I'm excited for Aaron's afterwards. Thanks, guys. Oh, you've been watching through the Survivor streams? I'll make sure I mention that to Eric here in a little bit and whenever he comes back. But I want to make sure I didn't miss the super chats because I saw it there, but we were busy talking and it was slowly working its way up. So I don't want to miss that. Jay, thank you so much. Said that setup is so cool. I appreciate that. You should definitely watch the Survivor streams. And I think we had a special Survivor edited together video, I think. Maybe I'm just thinking of Resident Evil, but I'm pretty sure we did. But that one was a really cool one, too. All right, guys. So how is everyone doing, and what else do we have to talk about related? We're not talking about Ben 10. We can talk about Star Wars here on Badonka Gonk. If you guys like the set, make sure you guys thank Jake. He helped with making a lot of this behind the scenes. And if you want a little bit more stuff, there will be a video next month that you should make sure you check out. That has to do with a little bit with Gonk stuff. Just a little bit. It's not all about Gonk, but a little bit. Been a relaxing break. I have not played Outlaws. I've been debating between just playing it on my own, doing a stream, doing it for video or whatnot, but I still need to play Outlaws, and I hear there's a book coming out for it, so I really need to make sure I play it before that book comes out and we do that book. So,
Goodness.
Eric Jordan had said that they are struggling with internet culture and stuff right now too, right? Overwhelmed with internet culture these days. I have found refuge in Eric's Survivor streams, and I am excited for Aaron's afterwards.
Awesome.
Thank you. So I want to make sure we hit up on that. So,
Jordan, it's also important to remember, like, if you ever look up, like, dead internet theory, like, a lot of the internet culture that you see out there is, like, it's fueled to make you feel that way, and a lot of it's bots these days. There's a lot of bots. So even whenever something is like, oh, I think this might be a real person, I just pretend it's a bot, and I feel better. So I do that.
Just pretend it's a bot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are back with our top 10 then, right?
Yes.
Or you had so much amazing stuff to tell us now that you're
I
back.
did. Well, I was thinking about the brainworms because they're also on my list. In that scene when Luminara is about ready to get a brainworm in her head,
okay,
Obi-Wan is going like, I want to see how they do it. You think it'll be the nose or the ears, you know? Like, and Anakin's like, Obi-Wan, we gotta save her, you know? How do you feel about that? Do you think, like, is he being serious at all, or is he just ribbing? And if he's ribbing, he should be more serious.
Sure. I think whenever I saw that, it was always more of a joke kind of element.
Yeah. But then when Anakin kills it, he's like, Anakin, I was going to study that. You know?
I mean, you can still continue the joke, I suppose.
I just wonder how Luminara felt about that joke later. Like when they're on the gunship going back to the Jedi Temple, she'd be like, were you serious about the whole? Because I heard you.
I mean, I guess part of it is like, I mean, I don't know. She was going to let her Padawan die inside a thing when she was like, hey, they're dead.
Uh-huh.
So like, I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe that's part of the living force, and we need to just let it take its course. I don't know.
How long do you think, like, there were Geonosians who are dead, and they can literally be, like, controlled, and they're dead Geonosians, right? Though all the clones that we saw and Jedi that we saw were alive when they were infected, correct?
Yeah.
Do you think that, like, oh, goodness.
Thank you so much for the bits.
Oh, thank you.
Do I think that they're killed during that, or what?
Yeah, like I wonder if, like, well, Geonosians, they're so like synced up with these worms that maybe they can survive after death. But I wonder if, like, humans or other species can as well, or if that's just like, if you're Geonosian, you could actually be controlled until after death.
Maybe it's something to do with their nervous systems or like an exoskeleton.
Yeah.
If the Geonosians have like an exoskeleton, maybe you can use the nervous systems to, like, it's making the outside part move and keeps things moving or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Because I know we had Barris who was infected, and then they did like a freeze cold thing and were able to save her, right? I think that's what happened, right, at the end, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, she makes it super cold before they come into
definitely doesn't, like, kill them or anything.
Yeah.
Or maybe it takes a while to kill them. But I don't know. Maybe it works kind of similar to that one alien in Alien Earth, where, like, it can control dead stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't have to do that all the time.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It might also just be like something. Yeah, I don't know how to. Every time I think about one way, I'm like, well, it could work this way, where it just connects you to the hive mind. But then I'm like, but why does it reanimate a dead Geonosian? and I'm not sure.
Well, the idea is that like it's so powerfully connected or has a hold of you that like even in death you can't escape. Right?
I suppose. Or like your hive mindness has been disconnected in death for a Geonosian, and with that worm in there, it reconnects you again. Maybe there's something like that. Maybe. I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna go with that for now because that's the best way I can make it work.
Jancy, remind me, what was the Geonosian queen theory that you have? Because I remember like, oh, that's such a good thing. I gotta tell Aaron. I don't think I ever did.
A Geonosian
and I can't remember what it is.
Theory.
But I remember being like, that's it. I can't remember right now. I'm sorry. The bugs are running them. Yes. Okay. Yeah. It's very much, if you're watching our Clone Wars reactions, I have to do my legwork to make sure that I tell Jancy, hey, there's going to be bugs in this one. Because that one was rough.
So her thought is just the parasites are controlling everything?
Yeah. That the bugs themselves are in control. And it's not like the queen that uses the bugs to exert her will. It's just that there's a hive mind that makes you think you're part of... You think you have agency as the Geonosian queen, but you're just another cog in the worm wheel.
It's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe something like that could be true.
It certainly sounds dead. That voice that D. Bradley Baker does is crazy.
Yeah.
For the Geonosian queen.
It could be interesting where it's like, oh, there's this race, but actually it was infected by something else.
Maybe,
this brain worm.
Like a parasitic species, in which case maybe it can do after-death resurrection for others. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a classic one, and one of the first things I thought of when I was like, what am I going to put on my list?
What's scary?
Okay, well, for me, these two, one of them is kind of canon, the other one isn't.
Okay.
We're going to start with...
I think both of my last two are canon.
Okay.
I think.
So this one is exclusively from the Expand universe. It is called the Mnggal. Mnggal.
Okay.
Mnggal. All right. Now this is from the ODU, and it's kind of like Venom in a way,
so
like a symbiote. But what it does, it's black goo. Do you remember we had black goo in that one Darth Vader? Not Darth Vader. Death Troopers.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So apparently there was two different like black goos that like take over your mind, like and that two different authors thought up independently.
Okay.
You know, this is different from that, so it's not the same stuff as what was in that project. But when this stuff gets into you, it goes for your brain and it eats your brain.
Okay.
And it replaces your brain with it.
Okay.
And then it slowly goes into all your organs and it just takes over you. It uses you as a husk and it brings you into its hive mind. Its hive mind it's described as one single entity, not a bunch of entities that think together. It's described as like once it's taken you over, you are now it, not them, if that makes sense. But it's a very frightening prospect of this thing slowly eating your brain away. And again, very Venom-like from Marvel in that regard.
Okay.
But maybe not so funny.
It's not funny.
Then it can be real funny.
Yeah.
This is not
Tom Hardy. Gotta eat the brains out.
Yeah. And again, I don't know how to say it. I only read it.
All right.
Yeah. So that's going to be my number 2.
That sounds awful. I don't like it. I want to eat my brain. My number 2 I put here, I think a lot of this one is mainly because of I don't know a lot about it.
Sure.
I also didn't look into a lot about it because we're going to find out more, I think, as it goes on. But when thinking about like scary creatures and stuff too, this one came from the High Republic, and I had to look up what it was called again to make sure.
Yep.
And it was called the Nameless.
The Nameless.
And I think that thing that feeds on like force and like turned a character into like a stone statue that crumbled, and I'm like that. When we talk about like fighting Ogdo as a Jedi, I'm like, man, that thing was pretty tough.
Yeah.
This guy was like a Jedi, like a good Jedi, and like seemed to stand no chance. Like I don't know, like, and even the Jedi around it seemed to question.
It's like
what
some
all
type
this was.
of like. It feels like some type of like storm that interrupts Jedi in their peace.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly what it is.
No, and I don't know too.
More.
Like a lot, like I said, a lot of mine of it is like questions of what I have for it, and I'm sure we'll learn more about it in the future or something. But what we got of it, it was such a scary moment at the end of the book that that I was like, you know what? I think that's a scary creature. At least now.
Sure.
Maybe once I learn more about it, that fear goes away. Then when you learn more of like, oh, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah,
he's missing his mommy. You know, that's all you need. I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't put that on my list because I do remember putting that on my top
scary moments,
scary things from Star Wars.
Okay.
And as Nexus says too, because I had to look it up too because I thought about putting it on my list. We know it as the Leveler. The Nameless is just a name that we haven't heard yet.
Gotcha.
But it's also like
the Leveler.
Well, it's not a name because it's nameless. So no, that doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but
I get what you mean. It's still something that we have yet to learn about, which also is probably what makes it so scary.
Yeah.
The unknown is always scarier than the known.
Yeah, I had to what was I'm looking up High Republic scary monster
thing.
turns Jedi to stone. Yep. And then it's the Nameless. Okay, this thing. So okay, we know it is the Leveler, huh?
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna go with my number one, Aaron. My number one. Now this I know it primarily from the old EU, but apparently it is canonized now in the Dr. Aphra comics.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get there, but it's called a Star Weird. A Star Weird. So what would happen in the old EU is Star Weirds let's say your ship breaks down and you're in the vacuum of space and you start hearing things. Something's outside, which doesn't make any sense. You're not supposed to have sound, you know? Star Weirds are these skeletal beings with talons on their hands and stuff, and they're gaunt and they just kind of float around. They're connected to the Force somehow, but Jedi used to think that they had to be a manifestation of the dark side or something. They're too weird. But they do these things where one, you can hear them scream in space, which you shouldn't be able to, despite Star Wars having a visual language or an audible language of being able to hear sounds in space. The characters shouldn't hear sounds in space, right? We do because we're the audience. We hear the wonderful soundscapes, right?
Okay.
But Star Weirds, they don't scream with vocal cords. They scream psychically, and it drives you insane. And certain derelict ships will report that here's what they kind of look like.
I don't like it.
And the more you look at it, they say the more you think you see your own face. What is that?
I don't want to look anymore.
I know. What is that thing out there in the vacuum of space?
Huh.
You know, so many things that live in space.
This is canon now?
This is now canon. It's not as scary, apparently, from what I understand. Or at least it hasn't been expanded upon like it had been in the old EU. But these are like space demons. They are, things that live in space in Star Wars usually subsist on gas or, the purrgil, they breathe in the gas and that type of thing. These things exist on nothing. In the vacuum.
And they just drive you crazy with screaming.
They drive you. Well, they also try to kill you and eat you and all that stuff too.
Oh, why do they try to eat me?
Because they're hungry, man.
So it's like zombies, where it's they don't need you to live, but they want it.
The thing that's most unsettling, I think, is that there's and Nexus said that's a canon image. But the old EU thing, the thing that always got to me was the more you look at it, the more you think it looks like you, which is just so freaky to think about. It also evokes Luke seeing his own head in Vader's helmet or whatever, but. I don't know. This was my first time reading a Star Wars anything. Yeah, here's the old version. They look like they have these big 3 talons, and they kind of just hang in space. They, there's no wind in space, but they slightly move like they're underwater.
Their hair's blowing or something.
They have a stupid name.
Okay, Star Weird. Yeah, it doesn't sound that scary.
It doesn't sound scary.
A Star Weird.
Yeah, it's a Star Weird, but I think it's kind of evoking the. Not ancient, but when people would go out into the sea, for months or years at a time back in the day, they would start seeing things in the ocean. They would come up with stories of mermen and sea serpents, and they just, you get delirious and you start freaking out and you start seeing things and things start talking to you. I think it's evoking that in the Star Wars fantasy.
Okay.
Which I find quite frightening, and that puts them at my number one.
Gotcha.
Star Weird.
Yeah, that's a scary thing.
Yep.
I don't like it. I've never heard of it before, but I don't know a lot of old EU things either. And having not done comics or anything,
we'll get there with the Dr. Aphra comics at some point.
What I have done is books. And my last one I put in there, it was one of the first ones I thought of as far as scary creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And it came from a book. Though this is my question where I was is this a creature or is this a race or what is this? It's the Drengir. And I'm like,
I think that's very appropriate.
I think it's one of the scariest like creature things that I've seen / experienced in Star Wars media. I haven't experienced a Star Weird, so I don't know how scary that is. But the Drengir and the fear of like if they get off of this planet or off of this, like they can take over the galaxy and stuff. Like this plant, again, kind of tentacly creature that has like this force. Like I don't know. Everything about them, I hated and was so creepy, and they keep popping up more and more in things that we keep seeing, and I'm like, this is a terrifying creature. No wonder they want to keep using it because it's so scary looking, and it's so powerful too. Like the way to defeat it, like you can't just like slice it and kill it and you're done. Like there's it's like trying to kill like plants and vines and stuff is not just super easy to do sometimes.
Like,
you know,
the ancient Sith couldn't handle these things.
Yeah,
you know.
Like that's a lot of power there, you know.
I think I love about them the most in terms of like their design and what they are is so oftentimes like a vegan in our world is going to be like, look, I'm trying to reduce suffering, so I'm going to eat just plants because plants don't have feelings. We don't care about them. And this is, well, what if the plants ate you and they didn't care about you? And all you are meat. You know?
Meat.
Like, that's terrifying.
Meat. That's all they want.
Yeah.
They just want to feed. It is kind of that zombie thing where it's like they just want to feed and they will devour the galaxy.
Insatiable hunger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're fairly powerful.
Yeah.
Like, they're formidable to Jedi and Sith. And oh, man. So, Race to Crash Point Tower.
Yep. Absolutely.
That story bit with them showing up there. The, dang, what was the one? It was the smaller one, but it was with with Geode. That book, when they Into the Dark, I think is what it was called, maybe. Like, that one there, like them first showing up there was, and then we've done some comic stuff too with them showing up into it. And every time, like, oh shoot, these guys, not more of these guys. And I think they're one of the scariest things.
They were one of the scariest things, and they were introduced in the book with one of the greatest heroes, Geode.
Geode, yeah. No, I think that's one of my things with like 1 and 3. Is like it's just the Rakghoul is just kind of like it will just kind of take over. It's mindless. It just wants more, and it's a zombie like this. Kind of in a similar sense is why I really think it's so scary. But I think it's more powerful than a Rakghoul and harder to kill.
I agree.
So, and Villa Beast, if you think it should have been on the list, I like it too much for it to be a scary monster.
I understand. I also didn't really go Rancor or Sarlacc just because it's something that we've talked about so many times. I kind of wanted to go about like. Something maybe a little less known.
Sure, yeah.
With some of mine.
Yeah.
But the Sarlacc, I think, is an honorable mention on any list, at least because of the nature that it doesn't just eat you. It takes your mind and uses it to power its own consciousness.
That's awful.
You know?
All these mind things Star Wars does.
Yeah. Like the first version of The Matrix. Like, The Matrix now is like, it will turn your body into this, a little battery. But that wasn't the first version of The Matrix. The first written script has it that The Matrix is hosted on our brains.
It's using the brain power.
It uses the brain power to create that.
Like processing power.
I like whoever was in charge was like, people are too dumb to understand what that means. Show a Duracell battery, you know? So they changed it.
It's power.
But it reminds me of that. Like, the Sarlacc uses your consciousness to give itself consciousness. That's why it artificially keeps you alive for that long.
Yeah. Okay.
And you will go crazy living for 1,000 years, but it won't. It just needs your ones and zeros, baby.
Yeah. Just needs that.
So very terrifying.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
that was our list.
That's the list of our scariest creatures.
Yep.
Which definitely some scary stuff in Star Wars overall.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely scary, but Star Wars is just such a stories filled with hope and bright heroes and stuff that I never get too afraid when I'm watching. But some of the things like the Star Weirds or the just some stuff that like kind of sticks with you. It makes you freak out a little bit. So I quite enjoyed our list this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Right.
I liked your list as well.
Yep.
Maybe next October, if we do this again and we don't have books and stuff, I had the idea of a scary thing that we could do is rank Star Wars movies and TV shows, which I know would be terrifying to you, Eric, and how much you enjoy it. Perhaps that could be next October.
With no standard?
No, it's not like rank them by best Star Wars fights. Nothing like that.
No, there has to be a standard, or else it's just Chaos
ranking.
I can't do it.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this October Badonka Gonk. We will be having the book we mentioned last time, which is the Canto Bite book. That will be for next month. We'll be covering that one.
I was going to look up the author, but there's like 6 authors or so because it's a novella. So.
Multiple stories in that one. And then also our next Badonka Gonk should be on November, I think it's 20th.
November 20th. Yep.
So.
Also, this week we put out the first of a series of videos that we've been doing with Star Wars Unlimited, the card game. We put out a video of us opening. The next one is going to be us creating some decks. The one after that is us playing the game and trying to learn the systems. And then we're just going to be continuing that trend. That's been a lot of fun here, and I can't wait to open more.
And then we have Visions.
Star Wars Visions coming up
next week, I think. So next Thursday.
And then very soon I should be getting the final edit in for the 4-part Kanan comic book storyline. And once those are all in, we're going to start putting them up and then have the rest up on early access.
Awesome. Yes. Some more Star Wars coming, guys.
Yep.
I'm so excited for that. And then we'll, of course, keep our eye open for more movies and TV shows. So I think that's everything. We hope to see you guys also for the next Badonka Gonk when we talk about Canto Bite.
All right. Gonk's getting real sleepy now.
Canto Bite.
I think he's finally running out of power.
All right. Until next time, may the Force be with you.
Good night, sweet prince.
Wait, that's not how it goes.